We will now call a common council meeting of January 21st, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Here.
Lorik.
Here.
Ritz.
Here.
Marshall. Here. Alderman Gale is excused. Alderman Guzekowski.
Here. Everybody please rise for Pledge of Allegiance. Kindly ask that Leslie Flynn leads us today.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That will bring us to the approval of minutes of January 7th, 2025. I'll give you a moment to take a look. When you're satisfied that they are correct, there's no discussions, errors, corrections, or omissions, motion please.
Fritz will move to approve the minutes of 1/7/25.
Oracle second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall. Aye. Guzekowski.
Aye. And item 4 is a resolution of appreciation to Walter A. Penzich III, retiring police officer. Catherine, would you please read that?
Certainly, resolution of appreciation to Walter A. Penzick III. Whereas Walter A. Penzick III began his employment with the City of Oak Creek on January 23rd, 2006, as a full-time police officer. And whereas during his 19 years of service, Walter has been an integral part of the police department, serving as a patrol officer. And whereas Walter has been a valuable employee during his years of dedicated service with the Oak Creek Police Department, always striving to enhance the quality of life for the citizens of the city, and has been a great teammate for those he has worked with, and his dedication to the department and co-workers as a pillar of support through his roles on the Bicycle Patrol Unit, Field Training Officer Unit, and Union President. And whereas Walter received 8 combined departmental acknowledgments and awards, most notably the Life-Saving Award for saving the life of a citizen, where life-saving CPR was provided to the citizen who was pulseless, followed by shocks by an AED to bring back their pulse and breathing, saving their life. All of his actions have impacted both the Oak Creek Police Department and the community as a whole. And whereas Walter served with honor, passion, and dedication on several subunits of the Oak Creek Police Department, notably serving as a specialist in operating while intoxicated laws and maintaining our intoximeter devices. As a bicycle patrol officer, Walter helped with community policing and making an impact on the community. As the Oak Creek Professional Police Officers Association president, he helped with creating a good working relationship between the union and department city administration. Walter also served as a field training officer, establishing a solid foundation for all new officers as they started their career with the Oak Creek Police Department and the citizens of Oak Creek. Through Walter's tenacity and dedication, the Oak Creek Police Department is more prepared, capable, and ready to serve the citizens of Oak Creek. Whereas Walter is retiring from the Oak Creek Police Department after completing over 19 years of full-time service to the City of Oak Creek. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Common Council of the City of Oak Creek, for and on behalf of the citizens of the City of Oak Creek, that sincere gratitude and appreciation be extended to Walter A. Penzick III for his years of professional, dedicated, and faithful service to the City of Oak Creek and the Police Department, and that the best wishes for good health and happiness be extended to Walter A. Penzick III and his family for future years. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting, and that the city clerk is hereby directed to transmit a suitable copy thereof to Walter A. Penzick III. Passed and adopted this 21st day of January 2025.
Thank you, Catherine. At this time, I'll ask Chief Stecker to come up and say a few words on Walter's behalf.
Good evening, Chief Stecker, Oak Creek Police Department. Thank you for giving me a few moments to talk about Walt and his career. A lot of it is summed up there, but 19 years, and now this is the second person in the last year that I've had a resolution on that's retired that I've helped train. It's getting a little odd at that point, but I understand that's going to be the way it is for a little while here. but definitely made an impact. And a couple of the items that Walt had over the years that helped us were, number one, being a field training officer, helping us get our new people up to speed and get them on the right path to be successful officers. But more so over the last 8+ years, Walt was also the president of the Oak Creek Professional Police Officers Association. And I enjoyed a very good working relationship, both as a captain and now as a chief, to be able to have many sit-down conversations of reasonableness to make sure that we're doing what's best for both the officers, the city, and the department as a whole. So I want to wish the best to Walt and enjoy his time in retirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Now open it up to the council. Anybody? Andrew?
Just like to echo Chief Stecker's words, my tenure has coincided with all of Walt's leadership in the association, and I think to sum it up, it was very calm, and that's very appreciated. And there were a lot of things that I know were tamped down very early on that didn't necessarily move its way through up to my office or to the HR department or and so forth. So really appreciate Walt's leadership there. Very calming effect working with Chief Stecker in a really rapidly changing department and city. So thank you, Walt, for your service to the city of Oak Creek.
Thank you, Andrew. I just want to add, Walter goes out with 19 years, and he's touched countless lives here. We talked about the life-saving and everything else, but the mentorship within the department, talk about the continuity, the steadiness, the accountability that goes on within the Oak Creek PD. That lends it to all the officers, but he was a leader with it. He was a leader with the union. He was a leader with the younger officers, training officers, day to day, you don't realize the impact you're having on the next generation of officers to help lead this city and protect this city. And he was one of the best to do it in his 19 years here. So, on behalf of myself, the entire Common Council, and all the citizens of Oak Creek, wish Walter a long and happy retirement. We can. Motion, please, on item 4.
Kirkowski will make a motion to adopt resolution number 12548-012125, a resolution of appreciation to Walter A. Penzick III, retiring police officer.
Pitzel, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Item 5 is also a resolution of appreciation to Gary D. Wagner, our retiring chief mechanic. Catherine?
Resolution of appreciation to Gary D. Wagner. Whereas Gary D. Wagner began his employment with the city of Oak Creek on November 21st, 1994 as an equipment operator. On March 12th, 2012, he was promoted to Mechanic 2. And whereas in July of 2018, he filled in for 6 months as acting chief mechanic during a vacancy. And on June 24th, 2019, was officially promoted to that position. And whereas Gary Wagner was a very effective employee during his years of service with the City of Oak Creek Public Works Department, answering many calls for service and performed his duties with pride, integrity, and devotion to the city. And whereas Gary Wagner retired from his position as chief mechanic with the City of Oak Creek, effective January 3rd, 2025, completing over 30 years of full-time service with the City of Oak Creek. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and the Common Council of the City of Oak Creek that for and on behalf of itself and of the citizens of the city, that gratitude and sincere thanks be, and the same is hereby extended to Gary D. Wagner for his long and faithful service and devotion to duty as a member of the Oak Creek Public Works Department, and best wishes for good health and happiness be extended to Gary D. Wagner and his family in his retirement years. Be it further resolved that the resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting, and that the city clerk is hereby directed to transmit a suitable copy thereof to Gary D. Wagner, passed and adopted this 21st day of January, 2025.
Thank you, Catherine. I'm going to ask Chief Kresick come up, kind of talk about Gary a little bit and their relationship with fire.
Mayor and Council, good evening. Mike Kresick, Fire Chief. I'll just pass on a couple words of thanks to Gary Wagner. He was the chief mechanic and had responsibility for the fire department's fleet. So a fleet of multiple different vehicle types, ambulances, engines, trucks, high use and hard use vehicles that we demand to have in service frequently in order to provide a service to the community. He managed that program beautifully. He addressed the needs of the department, always looking for the best outcome for that apparatus in terms of cost and longevity. So just want to say thanks to Gary for his efforts. Did an outstanding job for our fleet, and we do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I'll ask council, any words on Gary? I guess I'd just like to add this, 30 years of service, and Gary came up from heavy equipment operator to maintaining these. And it really just wasn't working on cars and trucks. As the chief said, it was complicated technological equipment, fire pumps, you name it. Some of the hydraulics that go on with the front end loaders, our plows, our machinery for parks, you name it. He was in charge of keeping that running for what you see in the city. And this is what all goes on behind the scenes. 30 years of service, incredible. To keep up with that is just a wonder. And if anybody's seen this city change in the course of 30 years, Gary could attest to that. And he changed right along with it, and he made us a better place. So once again, on behalf of myself, the entire Common Council, and the residents of Oak Creek, I want to wish Gary Wagner a very long and happy retirement to him and his family. Motion, please.
Kirkowski make a motion to adopt resolution number 12549-012125, a resolution of appreciation to Gary D. Wagner, retiring chief mechanic.
Oracle second.
Roll call.
Alderman Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
And item 6 is a resolution of appreciation to Leslie A. Flynn, Communications.
Resolution of appreciation to Leslie A. Flynn. Whereas Leslie Flynn began her employment with the City of Oak Creek on May 23, 1994 as a draftsperson, was promoted to engineering technician on January 1, 1997, promoted to GIS coordinator on July 1, 2001, and promoted to the position she holds today as the city's communication coordinator on January 1, 2016. And whereas Leslie Flynn is resigning from her position effective January 17, 2025, after 30 years, 8 months, and 25 days of dedicated services to the City of Oak Creek. And whereas Leslie Flynn, a native of Oak Creek and a 1987 graduate of Oak Creek High School, went on to become a valued member of the City of Oak Creek family. And whereas, having either lived or worked in Oak Creek her entire life, Leslie Flynn has witnessed and experienced the remarkable growth, making Oak Creek an integral part of who she is today. And whereas throughout her tenure with the city, Leslie Flynn has had 6 supervisors, worked with 5 city administrators, 5 mayors, countless department heads, employees, board and commission members, and the public, all while maintaining a warm, friendly, and helpful demeanor. And whereas Leslie Flynn is widely recognized for her strong work ethic, attention to detail, and unwavering dedication to the city, she has been consistently commended for her high level of performance, effective communication, and exceptional support. Whereas throughout her career, Leslie Flynn has been involved in numerous key initiatives. She was the city's original map girl, developing computerized mapping applications that city staff continue to use in their day-to-day activities. She also played a vital role in the city's rebranding in 2013 and has designed many of the promotional banners, graphics, and advertising materials currently used by the city. And whereas Leslie Flynn served as a committee member and played an integral role in the development of the city's first formal strategic action plan in 2016, helping to institutionalize the city's mission, vision, and values, and further continue to support the city's strategic planning process by contributing to the development of the most recent strategic action plan document used by city staff. Whereas Leslie Flynn served on the city's emergency management team, playing an integral role as the public information officer, where her knowledge and dedicated efforts led to the development of a regionally recognized communications function. And whereas Leslie Flynn was deeply involved in creating the city's current website, designing online application forms, and assisting staff with the departmental web pages and layouts, and was instrumental in the establishing the city's outstanding presence on Facebook and other social media platforms, providing residents with accurate and timely city information while keeping them informed of exciting events and developments. Whereas after 30 years, Leslie Flynn is moving on to new adventures as a communication director with the city of Racine. And whereas Leslie Flynn will be truly missed by all whom she had contact with over the past 30 years, and the city of Oak Creek has benefited tremendously from Leslie Flynn's tireless dedication and many contributions. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and the common council of the city of Oak Creek for and on behalf of the citizens of Oak Creek that sincere appreciation and gratitude be extended to Leslie Flynn for her many years of dedicated and faithful service to the city of Oak Creek, and that best wishes for good health and happiness be extended to Leslie Flynn during her future endeavors. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting, and that the city clerk is hereby directed to transmit a suitable copy thereof to Leslie Flynn. Passed and adopted this 21st day of January 2025.
Thank you, Catherine. At this time, I know we had some audience members that wanted to say a few words. Chief, would you like to start?
Fire Chief. Good evening, Council. Just want to say a couple words about Leslie's contributions to the fire department and then how that relates to the community. So first, in the emergency management program, she took a function in the emergency management program, our public information officer, from ground zero. She built and developed a regionally recognized program. So much of that program is based on preparation and is not seen until needed. And thankfully, we haven't needed to use a lot of those items, but the preparation was at the highest level. And certainly where she has taken our program today, we have a much better emergency management program than before she joined it. So we'd like to thank her for her efforts with that. I think Les and I are the only two remaining individuals from that 2016 strategic plan group that initially started. I know Andrew Vickers came on later in that process, but Leslie and I were two of the original members. Leslie has a very astute understanding of the strategic planning process, the importance of values in an organization, and leadership principles. She carried that with her as that plan developed and moved forward, a very successful plan. So certainly I want to recognize and thank her for the time we had spent together working on the development of that plan and the outputs associated with that. And lastly, for the fire department. So the fire department looks at a communication function, it looks at vehicle maintenance as support service for us. But the reality is those support services mean so much more. We do need help in certain areas. And Leslie approached our communications, helped us to develop a very strong communication strategy, and essentially helped build to where we are today, a free-running program that has been very successful with our social media and outreach efforts. And for a chief who has zero interest in social media and minimal communication skills, her efforts have helped at least get me to a point where I'm not embarrassing myself in front of a camera too much. So certainly her efforts have contributed to the fire department, have made us better, which in turn has benefited the community. So I want to wish her the best, thank her for her efforts. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Chief. Anyone else from the audience like to say a few words?
Yeah, I would. I just want to thank Leslie for all of her help on internet work back in the day. In the CDA, we were putting together our first business internet profile, and Leslie stepped up and helped us then. And as we were working on things with tourism, there was Leslie again. So appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, Jim. Steve?
Again, Leslie, thank you for 30 years of service. I want to thank you also for jumping in and doing stuff on Facebook when we had rather contentious issues that we wanted to get out to the public, like where your tax dollar is going. A couple other, the public safety the initiative that we recently had, stuff that we needed to get the public to at least listen or understand what was. It was nice, and I would always keep, if you weren't here or somebody say, hey, would you get it out on Facebook and social media, and you took care of that, and I just want to say thank you.
Greg?
Leslie, I just want to say thank you, same as the rest of the council. There's a lot to process in this resolution. You have so much valuable experience. I will say that Racine is gaining a huge asset, so it's unfortunate that the city of Oak Creek is losing you. Clearly, you kind of live and breathe the city of Oak Creek, so it's definitely unfortunate that that wasn't recognized and then you were able, you're taking this job at Racine. So thank you for everything.
Lisa, I'm coming right down
It's
the
all
line.
been said, so ditto to everything.
Chris?
thank you from the bottom of my heart, Leslie. You've done so much, and it's been great working with you as a partner. Thank you.
Andrew?
Glad I can't see you, so don't look at me. No, I just want to thank Leslie for the personal conversations. I valued them so much. The professional conversations, the historical context she provided, the organizational context she provided. All of those conversations, hopefully lend to my growth here as well. So, but what really can't be overstated is 30 years of service. We're going to get a few more of those, maybe in the next couple of years, and from my generation and then on down, we're not unfortunately going to see that again. So I just want to recognize the loyalty you've put towards the organization and the community, and I really appreciate your friendship over the years, and I know you're going to do great things in our scene. So looking forward to watching that.
Well, Leslie, not right now, but I am going to have you come up in a moment. I'm going to talk first. It's all been set up here, without a doubt, 30 plus years. I always talk about how everybody's affected the city in different ways. Leslie was one of these people that really greatly affected the city. She's worked under 4 mayors, I believe. 5? Back to Dale. So a lot of different personalities to juggle there. A lot of different emphasis. Talked about technology changing. If you go back to the 1990s, it wasn't what we have today, social media-wise. Leslie adapted with this and helped the city grow and expand its role within southeastern Wisconsin. Some of our events started to grow too, and not many people realize this, but Leslie's responsible in the background for a lot of this. I'm just going to mention a couple here. I'm going to start with our annual Earth Day cleanup. I believe it was started with Mayor's. This is something where we all get together and we take a day in April around Earth Day and clean up local parks, and we get civic groups. If it wasn't for Leslie, this program probably would have never got off the ground. She's done it under my terms, and it's only grown. And I think it's something that should continue, but a lot of credit goes to her for literally keeping this alive, because there were times where it was kind of me, Leslie, and maybe a couple of Daisy Scouts picking up garbage a couple of years. But we've since grown that, so that's a good thing. Also, we have an annual event here called Cafe, Culture, Art, Food, Entertainment, where we celebrate our diversity. That was kind of a brainstorm I kind of wanted to go with. And when I really needed to get this done, I went to key people. And actually, I went to 3 key women in the city, and she was one of them. And she drove that event to what it is today. I think it's one of the most unique things Oak Creek does. Also, we do Stars on the Square. It's a Flag Day thing that was dreamt up here at City Hall. She was an integral part of getting that off the ground. You probably did it all. Who am I kidding? You did a lot of that, without a doubt. It was my goofy idea, but she actually brought it to life. So thank you for that. And then one that's really important and really benefits everybody, and I just want to read this letter to you, and I'll kind of paraphrase it. Came to me January 2nd, and it says, Dear Mayor Bukevich, and all those that participated in the Oak Creek Thanksgiving Day Community Turkey Trek 2024 at Emerald Preserve. On behalf of the Family Life Center at St. Stephen's Church, I want to thank all participants for your kind donation of 317 plus pounds of food and grocery items. Due to your community's generosity and support, our emergency food pantries will be able to distribute food destinations for patrons in the year 2025. It's difficult for many families in the community to keep food on their table and in their cupboards, and a lot of families experiencing need right here in the Oak Creek area. And they appreciate everything that the Oak Creek and Franklin communities do in the future to continue growing this program. Every Thanksgiving morning, we have a turkey trek. And we get together at Emerald Preserve, and she really helped spearhead this and put it together and make sure some people were there. Chris is always participant there, and older people have come and gone, but without her efforts, you know, between mayors and everything that went on, pandemics and stuff like that, it may have lost its legs. But she saw to it never did, and that benefited a lot of people that needed it the most. You have my undying thanks, and I'll just add this last thing before I call you up. All those really cool articles from the mayors and those letters and stuff, I'm going to admit to everybody right now, it's kind of a sham. I do write the base of that, and then I give it to Leslie, and she tells me I can't hand it in crayon, and then so I've graduated to at least a big pen, but she cleans it up and really hits the point of what we need to express to the entire community in the Acorn and the Current as well. You've done a lot. I'd wish you luck, but you ain't gonna need it. A dynamic woman like you, your resume speaks for itself. So as it said in the proclamation, we're supposed to present you with a suitable copy of your proclamation. Please come on up. First, I'll give you the mic. Looks like you got my last article
I
right.
came prepared this time because you guys have put me on the spot a couple times in the last week and I've fumbled. So, wow. I really appreciate this recognition and hearing all these kind words from my esteemed colleagues, and I'm truly humbled by them. It is hard to summarize a 30-year career on a single piece of paper, even if it's 9-point type. Sorry, Catherine. But I want to thank those who wrote it and did it justice. You caught all of those highlights absolutely perfectly. As I mentioned, I'm an Oak Creek girl from way back when, and it has truly been an honor to grow up with Oak Creek. I like to tell the story of how excited I was back in the late 90s, I think, for the opening of Oak Creek's first Taco Bell. And well, look at us now. We've come such a long way, and it has been such an exciting journey together. I'm grateful to have played a small part in making Oak Creek what it is today. One of the best parts of my job, first as map girl and then as communications coordinator, was working with so many people across the organization in every single department. And I know you know this, but we have the best, most dedicated group of public servants who work hard every day to make this community the best it can be. I've enjoyed working with and learning from them over the years. They have made me a better public servant and, more importantly, a better human. I leave here with lifelong friendships that I will carry with me to my next adventure. While I am taking my knowledge and skills to a new community in hopes that I can affect positive change in another organization, my years at Oak Creek and all of my friends that I made here will remain close to my heart. Thank you again for this honor and opportunity to serve my hometown for the past 3 decades. It's been an honor.
Hey there, Leslie.
Yeah, she can't grab that.
Okay, moving on. Item 7 is public
Can you
hearing.
resolution?
Oh, I'm sorry. Holy smokes, we gotta get that approved and then voted.
Sure.
That went on a little long, but okay. Motion on item 6 first, thank you.
Marshall moves to adopt resolution number 12550-012125, a resolution of appreciation to Leslie A. Flynn, Communications Coordinator.
Pitzel, second.
Roll call?
Alderwoman Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorick.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Now, item 7. We do have a public hearing to consider a request to rescind ordinance number 2224 and the conditional use permit for housing for the elderly on the property located at 8825 South Howell Avenue by Brian Drummel, B&B Investment Properties LLC. Catherine?
Public hearing number 1 is to consider a request to rescind ordinance number 2224 and the conditional use permit for housing for the elderly on the property located at 8825 South Hall Avenue, submitted by Brian Drummel, B&B Investment Properties LLC. Applicant is Brian Drummel, B&B Investment Properties LLC. Property owners, B&B Investment Properties LLC. There follows the legal description. Date of notice is December 18th, 2024.
Thank you, Catherine. Christie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Christy Lane, Community Development Director. This is an application that is kind of rare, that something the Common Council does not see frequently, and that's to revoke or remove, rescind a conditional use permit at the request of the property owner. So the commercial office building that you see here in front of you on Howell Avenue is currently zoned RM1, multifamily residential, yet it operates as an office use. The property owner had an interested tenant, and we did a little digging as staff and kind of came to this conclusion that we have to take these steps to move forward for your standard office uses within this building. So the first step is to revoke or rescind the conditional use permit from 2002. The reason it's zoned multifamily is because an ordinance was adopted by the Common Council 22 years ago with the intent to develop a 62-unit retirement village on this parcel that was a continued use with this office building. And in the conditions and restrictions from that conditional use permit in 2002, it included that all permitted uses in the RM multifamily zoning district were allowed, so multifamily, housing for the elderly, retail uses which were part of or accessory to the elderly housing, and then usual and customary accessory uses for, again, those permitted uses listed above, which is only housing for the elderly. This is the site plan that accommodated that conditional use permit in 2002. You can see the office building here in the front on the right side of your screen along Howell Avenue, and then the intent was to continue the 62-unit senior living with dining, gardening, and then a continued collaboration of a 62-unit elderly assisted living facility. It never came to fruition. This is still vacant behind the office building. So with that being said, again, this is kind of a threefold, 3 steps that the Common Council is considering tonight. First is to rescind the conditional use permit. Next is to change a comprehensive land use map. And then third is to rezone. So you have the existing multifamily zoning for that office building. And then the comprehensive land use map identifies it as public and semi-public, which you'll see before you next is a recommendation to change it to commercial. The Plan Commission did review this at their December 10th meeting, and they are recommending approval of the revocation of the conditional use permit. That concludes the public hearing.
Thank you, Christy. As this is a public hearing, I will make 3 calls. Anybody wishing to speak on item 7, please approach the podium, give your name and address. This will be the first call. Second call, anybody wishing to speak? Third and final call. We'll now close the public hearing and go on to item 8, which is the resolution rescinding that ordinance of 2224 and the conditional use permit for housing for the elderly on the property located at 8825 South Hall Avenue. Councilmen and women, questions, comments? I think everything Christy explained makes sense. Okay.
What was the use prior to the conditional?
I think it was vacant land.
Oh.
This building was constructed as part of that 2002 project.
Yeah, it just never fulfilled its dream of what it was supposed to be. Okay, there's no further discussion. Motion on 8.
Marshall moved to adopt resolution 12545-0 012125, rescinding ordinance number 2224, and the conditional use permit for housing for the elderly at the property located at 8825 South Howell Avenue.
Clark seconds.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Item 9 is consideration of an amendment to the City of Oak Creek's 2020 Comprehensive Plan Land Use category of public, semi-private, commercial for the property located at 8825 South Howell. Catherine?
Public hearing number 2 is to consider an amendment to the City of Oak Creek 2020 Comprehensive Plan Land Use category of public, semi-public to commercial for the property located at 8825 South Howell Avenue. Applicant is Brian Drummel, B&B Investment Properties LLC. Property owner is B&B Investment Properties LLC. There follows the legal description. Date of notice, December 11th, 2020.
Thank you. Christie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Christy Lane, Community Development Director. This item sets up for the opportunity to rezone the parcel to B4, which would allow your standard commercial and office uses for that property. But before you can rezone it, you do have to amend the existing comprehensive land use map. This parcel is identified as public and semi-public, and the proposal is to change it to a commercial comprehensive land use map category. The Plan Commission recommended approval at their December 10th meeting. We received no objections to date, and that concludes the public hearing for this item.
Thank you. As this is a public hearing, once again, 3 calls will be the first call. Second call. Third and final call. Now close the public hearing and go on to consideration of an amendment to the City of Oak Creek's 2020 Comprehensive Plan Land Use category of public to semi-public to commercial for the property at 8825 South Howell. Council, questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. Motion on 9.
Marshall will move to adopt.
Was it 10?
10.
I'm sorry, 10.
Marshall will move to adopt ordinance number 3117, amending the City of Oak Creek 2020 Comprehensive Plan Land Use category of public, semi-public to commercial for the property located at 8825 South Howell Avenue.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And our next public hearing is consideration of a request to rezone the property at 8825 South Howell Avenue from RM1 Multifamily Residential District to B4 General Business District, submitted by Brian Drummel, B&B Investments Properties LLC. Catherine?
Public hearing number 3 is to consider a request to rezone the property located at 8825 South Howell Avenue from RM-1 Multifamily Residential District to B4 General Business District, submitted by Brian Drummel, B&B Investment Properties LLC. Applicant is Brian Drummel, B&B Investment Properties LLC. Property owner is B&B Investment Properties LLC. There follows the legal description. Date of notice, December 18th, 2020.
Thank you. Christie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Christy Lane, Community Development Director. This is the third action item relative to this particular property. It is zoned RM1 multifamily today. The proposal is to rezone it to B4 commercial, and that is consistent with surrounding zoning of the area to the northeast and the south. So it's consistent with surrounding zoning. Plan Commission recommended approval at their December 10th meeting, and we've received no objections to date. That concludes the public hearing.
Thank you. Once again, 3 calls will be made if you wish to speak on the item. First call. Second call. Third and final call. Okay, we will go on to item 12, and that's consideration of an ordinance rezoning the property at 8825 South Howell Avenue from RM1 Multifamily Residential District to B4 General Business District. Council, anything? This is government efficiency, right?
I haven't gotten any calls about this, about the request going on.
Wonderful. Okay, there's no further discussion. Motion.
Marshall will move to adopt ordinance number 3118, rezoning the property located at 8825 South Howell Avenue from RM1 Multifamily Residential District to B4 General Business District.
Gusco, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
And item 13, again, public hearing, consideration of a request for a conditional use permit for outdoor storage at Oak Creek Wood Products, an existing business located at 190 West Marquette Avenue, submitted by Pete Erickson, Oak Creek Wood Products. Catherine?
Public hearing number 4 is to consider a request for a conditional use permit for outdoor storage at Oak Creek Wood Products, an existing business located at 190 West Marquette Avenue, submitted by Pete Erickson, Oak Creek Wood Products. Applicant, Pete Erickson, Oak Creek Wood Products. Property owner, Integrated Warehousing LLC, a WI LLC. Legal description there follows. Date of notice, December 18th, 2025.
Thank you. Christie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Chrissy Lane, Community Development Director. This item before you, the fourth public hearing, is for a conditional use permit for outdoor storage. The property is zoned M1 Manufacturing. It's at the northwest corner of the intersection of Marquette and First. Again, proposing to do outdoor storage of manufacturing materials and items required for their business operations. With the request for outdoor storage, they submitted a site plan, which includes fencing, which includes privacy slats in the fencing along First Street that you can see in the green areas identified, and a gate entering the site from the parking lot along the east side of the building. The outdoor storage areas are specifically labeled and called out on the site plan. As part of the conditions and restrictions that the Plan Commission reviewed, the outdoor storage can only be in designated areas, shall be limited to a maximum of 2 enclosed 53-foot-long trailers, specifically designed to contain sawdust, and an approximately 3,000 square foot area for storage of lumber. No other materials are to be stored outside. The boundaries of the designated areas, again, are to be identified on the site, and the actual painting labeled on the pavement so that the employees know specifically where they can store the outdoor storage within the facility. No outdoor storage is to be within 15 feet of any building as required by the fire department. No materials are to be stacked higher than the height of the fence, and the hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. The Plan Commission recommended approval at their December 10th meeting, and we received no objections to date. That concludes the public hearing.
Thank you, Christie. I will make 3 calls, this being the first. Anybody wishing to speak, approach podium, name and address. Second call. Third and final call. Okay, we will close the public hearing and go on to consideration of a resolution approving the conditional use permit for the outdoor storage of manufacturing materials, items required for the operations on the property located at 190 West Marquette Avenue. Council, Greg and then Steve.
I just have a question. Are you able to go back to the, I guess the approved areas, this one? I wasn't at the December 10th Planning Commission meeting. This overhead picture, is all that, maybe you don't know, is all this stuff that's out there, is that storage? If approved, are they gonna move it into the designated storage area?
Yeah, the picture taken in December, I would suggest is not complying to the areas that are required by the conditions and restrictions. Yep.
This is just kind of
Yeah, and the picture was taken prior to the Plan Commission meeting.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Steve?
Prior to your arrival here at the city, there had been some complaints and some letters sent to this business regarding what is depicted in this one picture. And then if you go to the next picture where you can see the parking, you'll see that the
Sorry.
yeah,
There you go.
you'll see the car there that's parked in the driveway. The complaints that the city lodged with the owner was that they had all that outdoor storage and it wasn't allowed. They needed to clean it up, and then because they were taking up so much parking space with their storage, employees were parking on the grass in the driveway, and it was very difficult for people to get around. So just want to put this on the record that these modifications they intend to make are going to resolve those issues, the parking issues and the storage issues and the fences and stuff like that. It's all going to go away,
That
to your
is-
knowledge?
That is the intent, and I do believe that that's been communicated clearly to the owner. As you mentioned, our neighborhood preservation officer kind of started this process with Mr. Erickson, and we finally, it's been a multi-month-long process to get here. But yes, I do believe the neighborhood preservation officer will also continue to keep a close eye on this parcel.
Okay. Thank you.
And just to let you know, at the December 10th meeting, it was agreed it will be fenced and screened. So it'll clean that corner up, alleviate the problems. I think Christie summed it up best. Okay, if nothing else, motion please.
Kirkowski will make a motion to adopt resolution number 12546-012125, approving a conditional use permit for outdoor storage of manufacturing materials and items required for operations on the property located at 190 West Marquette Avenue.
Lorick seconds.
Roll call.
Alderman Ritz?
Aye.
Marshall?
Aye.
Guzekowski?
Aye.
Kirkowski?
Aye.
Lorick?
Aye.
And item 15 is consideration of conditional use permit for equipment sales and auto body automotive mechanical repair and outdoor storage at Transportation Refrigeration Inc., a future business to be located at 6925 South Sixth Street, Suite 400, submitted by Mike Muro, Transportation Refrigeration.
Public hearing number 5 is to consider a request for a conditional use permit for equipment sales and auto body automotive mechanical repair and outdoor storage at Transport Refrigeration Inc., a future business to be located at 6925 South Sixth Street, Suite 400, submitted by Mike Muro, Transport Refrigeration Inc. Applicant is Michael Muro, Transport Refrigeration Inc. Property owner, URSA Oak Creek LLC, a Wisconsin LLC. Legal description there follows. Date of notice, December 18th, 2024.
All right, thank you. Christie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Christy Lane, Community Development Director. This is the 5th public hearing this evening, and it's to consider a conditional use permit for multiple users by a proposed new business to the city of Oak Creek, which will conduct equipment sales, automotive body, automotive mechanical repair, and outdoor storage on the property you see here on 6th Street. The property is set back quite substantially. You cannot see the parking lot from 6th Street, and even the front parking for customer parking is not visible from 6th Street. But what the proposed user and tenant is proposing is to occupy the majority of the building, suites 2, 3, 4, and 500. And they are proposing to have outdoor storage of semi-trucks while they're waiting to be worked on, automotive repair for the semi-trucks, and then the customer waiting and customer parking is in the front. And again, all of the storage and parking of the semi-trucks will be in the back. Just for perspective, this is the existing condition for existing tenants who will be leaving the site. And this is not visible from 6th Street. We had, from perspective, driven up to the building from a pretty far setback driveway and then went to the back, which a customer would not see. Regarding parking on the site, they are meeting all of the code requirements for the semi-trailer parking and also for customer parking. So there is no shortage for this municipal code for parking requirements. The conditions and restrictions included outdoor storage only in designated areas within that approved site plan. Parking spaces shall be striped for 30 spaces for the semi-trailers. Outdoor storage is limited to 30 semi-trailers or straight trucks. The traffic volume to and from the site may not exceed 10 per day. And then the hours of operation are 7 a.m. to midnight. I do anticipate a question from Mayor Dan, possibly about the paving in the back, and we did look at the history, and it did not require pavement in the back, so it would be a little hard pressed to require it at this time. But all the way to the northern section of the back. Part of, as you can see in the picture, the parking near the building is paved. But the very north end of the site is not and was not required with its previous site plan, original site plan approved. The Plan Commission reviewed the proposal and recommended approval at their December 10th meeting, and we received no objections to date, and that concludes the public hearing presentation.
Great, thank you, Christy. We will make 3 calls. Anybody wishing to speak, please approach the podium, name and address. This will be the first call. Second call. Third and final call. I'll close the public hearing and go on to consideration of a resolution approving that conditional use permit for the equipment sales, auto body, automotive mechanical repair, and outdoor storage on the property at 6925 South 6th Street. Council, questions, comments? None? Okay. Christie summed everything up very well. Motion on 16.
Kirkowski make a motion to adopt resolution number 12547-012125, approving a conditional use permit for equipment sales, auto body, automotive mechanical repair, and outdoor storage on the property at 6925 South 6th Street.
Clark seconds.
Roll call.
Alderwoman Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Fritz.
Aye.
And item 17 is new business, and it's consideration of an ordinance number 3119 to repeal and recreate section 7.44 of the municipal codes relating to the limitation of dogs and cats. Thus, we got Darcy with us.
Hi, Darcy Du Bois, Health Officer. We are proposing to update section 7.44 of the code to incorporate a limit of 3 cats to be kept as pets in addition to the 3 dogs that it currently allows here in Oak Creek. We are one of only 2 municipalities in the county that do not have either a limit on number of cats that can be kept as pets or total number of pets. So making this change would align us with most of our neighbors. And in addition, it would allow for clear enforcement of cat-related complaints, which the health department receives quite frequently, and without language in the ordinance instilling a limit on the number of cats, it's difficult for us to impose a limit or to resolve some of the complaints that we get. So the ordinance would not change the limit on the number of dogs currently allowed. I'm happy to answer any questions that there might be.
Questions for Darcy? Greg?
I don't know if you know the answer to this, but if obviously we don't know what exists now, but if there is a household that owns 4 cats, for example, that has been established and their family pets, are they grandfathered in or anyway, or will they receive violations based on this now?
Yeah, we did think about that. You know, what we were thinking about doing was using the number of currently licensed cats at a residence, which MADAC maintains that record, whether they're licensed here at the city or at MADAC, they have a list of that. So we would refer to that to see how many they had licensed previously and use that for enforcement.
Can you give a description of some of the complaints that you get? Or
Sure. Over the past 5 or 6 years, we've had 2 different cat hoarding situations with, you know, over 100 cats in those houses. And obviously, that's easy to say that's too many cats. But when we get into the discussion of how many cats a family is allowed to keep, you know, it's hard to say if 3 is okay or 5 or 10. And in addition to that, we get complaints related to indoor-outdoor cats, feeding of cats in the neighborhood that people are saying are their pets, but they're are outdoor pets. And again, just it's hard to say they can't do that when we don't have that code language.
I have a question about breeding, and this might not be the place for it, but is there a stipulation for cat breeders?
There's a 5-month allowance.
I don't know if this is exactly answering your question, but we maintain the language for essentially that. If it's a kennel, it's a little bit different.
there's a license involved there, if that's what you're speaking to, Alderwoman Marshall. I think that there's provisions for such where there is literal breeding. You know, I defer to the clerk's office if they have something else to add, but I think that our licensing scheme regulates that. As our health officer indicated, we maintain the same language as in this proposal for this draft ordinance 3119 to say that the exception would be a litter of pups, which would be kept no more than 5 months. So the 5 months is actually somewhat magical because the rest of the code relates to 5 months for licensing. So trying to pull it all together, there is some reasonableness.
All right, thank you.
We just had a presentation at ICC from Milwaukee County Animal Control as well. This exists really throughout Milwaukee County. There is a lot of this going on, and as Darcy said, one of few communities that don't limit cats. And there is just a lot of dogs and cats that are being abandoned, and the whole thing, and there are illegal breeders going on. Usually the complaints get registered through the city, Milwaukee Area Animal Control responds to them, and they take care of them in kind because they're violating state laws, as Melissa alluded to with breeder's license. I think this is well done and probably long overdue. In it, and I'm not looking to redo it or anything, I think it's fine the way it is, but when it says total number of pets, so any combination of pets, one way or the other, total 6, does that include rabbits, ferrets, to take the place of a cat, anything like that? Or are we just looking at the primary domesticated animals right now?
Yeah, we're just looking at dogs and cats right now.
I'm good with that. That's a good direction to start. So, it will improve quality of life. Okay, if there's no further discussion, motion.
Clerk moves to adopt ordinance number 3119 to repeal and recreate section 7.44 of the municipal code relating to limitation of dogs and cats.
Kirkowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Right, thank you, Darcy. Item 18 is community development. It's consideration of a resolution approving a certified survey map for the combination of multiple parcels located at 8919, 8940, 98, did I say 9840? 9880 South Ridgeview Drive.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Chris Sealing, Community Development Director. This is a bit of a formality. The certified survey map to combine 3 parcels owned by collectively as one property owner was adopted by the Common Council a little over a year ago on November 7th, 2023, but it just was never recorded. And so state statutes require that, or state that if a certified survey map is not recorded within 1 year, it's null and becomes null and void. So just going through the formality here, the Plan Commission did review it at last week's meeting and recommended approval.
Questions? No, pretty straightforward. Property owner just needs to combine them. Christie summed it up well. There's no questions. Motion?
Marshall.
Oh, go ahead.
Marshall moves to approve resolution number 12552-012125, approving a certified survey map for the combination of multiple parcels located at 9119, 9840, and 9880 South Ridgeview Drive.
Guzekowski, second.
Roll call.
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
And item 19 is engineering, and it's consideration of a resolution accepting the workmanship of Lalonde Contractors, Inc. and authorizing final contract payment under project number 20028. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor and Common Council. Matt Sullivan, Assistant City Administrator, City Engineer. This is that resolution approving and accepting the workmanship of Lalonde and authorizing our final contract payment. The work was done under our Safe Routes to School project, which started in 2024, or 2023, and ended in 2024 with the completion of South 13th Street and installation of the Hawk signal at West Middle School. You'll notice that we had one change order that revised our contract amount, and that was to correct some of the slope issues we had on one of our areas near Cedar Hills with the asphalt between the curb and gutter that we placed out there in the islands that addressed some of our slope issues. And the other major runovers that we had were concrete sidewalk, asphalt surface, and curb and gutter. The asphalt surface went with the Cedar Hills because we had to add additional pavement. The sidewalk was an addition on to areas at Meadowview where instead of putting asphalt, we used concrete sidewalk. And the curb and gutter is just probably something standard where we had to extend it to match it a little bit better. But other than that, the work has been done. It's been checked. DOT is compliant with it. We have no other further issues, and we'd like to finish the project and close it out and get it off our books. I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Questions for engineering? Seeing none, motion?
Kirkowski will make a motion to adopt resolution number 12551-012125, accepting the workmanship of Lalonde Contractors, Inc., and authorizing final payment under project number 20028.
Marshall will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Okay, item 20 is the License Committee. I will turn that over to Alderman Kirkowski.
Thank you, Mayor. I trust everybody has had an opportunity to read the tonight's Common Council report. Does anybody have any questions, cares, or concerns? All right, seeing none, Kirkowski will make a motion to approve the various license requests as listed on the January 21st, 2025 License Committee report.
Marshall will second.
Roll call.
Alderman Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
And item 21 is our vendor summary report for January 15th, 2025. It's in the amount of $1,085,780.19. Of this, $382,989.40 fall in year 2024, with the remaining $702,790.79 affecting 2025. Give you a moment to look at the report, and if there's any questions, I'm sure Max can handle them.
Just curious about number 2. Is that the city of Oak Creek paying the city of Oak Creek?
Relate to property taxes for parcels that we purchased last year.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have to pay a prorated share. Yep, that's
But just for the record, the city does pay property tax.
only when a property transacts from private to public, so.
Thank
we
you
pay
for
the
that. I
prorated portion.
did not know that. Okay. There's no further questions or discussion. Motion.
Marshall will move to approve the January 15th, 2025 vendor summary report in the amount of $1,085,780.19. Of this total, $382,989.40 will affect fiscal year 2024, with the remaining $702,790.79 affecting 2025.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call.
Alderwoman Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
And item 2 is consideration of a motion to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 19.85, to discuss the following. Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub G, to consider the claim of Richard L. Johnson as a result of a motor vehicle accident with a city vehicle on October 24th, 2024, at the intersection of South Howell Avenue and East Putes Road. Alderman Ritz.
Alderman Ritz will motion to convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 19.85, to discuss the following. Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub G, to consider the claim of Richard L. Johnson as a result of a motor vehicle accident with a city vehicle on October 24th, 2024 at the intersection of South Howell Avenue and East Putes Road.
Marshall will second.
Roll call?
Alderman Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
We will now convene into closed session, and we will resume at its conclusion. Okay.
Good, so I'll move that we reconvene into open session.
Marshall will second.
Roll call?
Alderman Kirkowski.
Aye.
Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Item 24 is consideration of a motion if need to be taken. There is none at this time for closed session. That will move us to adjournment.
So motion that we adjourn?
Lorik seconds.
Roll call?
Alderman Lorik.
Aye.
Ritz.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Guzekowski.
Aye.
Kirkowski.
Aye. All right. Thank you all for streaming in, and wish you a pleasant week. Thank you.